No.
Oh, welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Michael. Good morning. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm doing better than your camera.
Hmm.
I'm doing better than the AFC did at the Pro Bowl. Doing better than the Metro did at the All-Star game. Doing better than I did last night when my kid didn't go to bed till 5 in the morning. Don't have kids. It is not fun. People will say it's fun. They are lying to you.
This is about as good as I think that I'm going to get it, Mike. We're going to go ahead and mess with this. And you know what? As it keeps messing up, I'm going to just keep adjusting it and hope that at some point
Oh,
it stops
I kind of
doing,
like this. I don't have to look at you. Oh, man,
and it's like every day. It's a new thing
it's
with
something
this.
new here. It is something new here at the Two Dumb Yinzers every day. Technology hates us. YouTube hates us. Spotify hates us. But the people love us.
But nonetheless, here we go. We are
Us.
back, everybody. Today is episode 240 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Monday morning. It's the start of a new week. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Mike kind of outlined a few things that went down over the weekend, sports wise. How you doing, Mike? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. A little tired. Very tired. My eyes are heavy, but I'm feeling good.
I'm this close. I'm this close to being a full survivor of my man cold that I've had over the past 5 days. It almost killed me several times, but here I am. Got
You
my
see,
cough drop in. I'm surviving, man.
you're surviving. You're taking enough medicine to make meth in your own body.
I am. I might be on meth right now.
I think you might need it the way things are going for you.
Yeah. If this computer keeps fucking up the way that it has been, I am gonna need meth. Everybody. All right. So anyway,
Uh,
everybody. So good
I love
morning. We are back. It's the Two Dumb Yinzers. We want to first of all thank the guys from Hit 'em Hard Music. We talked to you guys on Friday evening.
yes.
The guys over there at Hit 'em Hard, they were promoting a new album that just came out, an event that's coming up here in a few weeks. We want to thank you guys, as always, for stopping by and visiting us. It's always great talking to you.
It is. That was they're just so fun. They're so fun. I wanted to leave the house and go to the bar, hang out with them,
Yeah, that
but I'm
exactly.
old
Whenever
and that was too
Cigarillos
far
took
of a
the
drive.
camera and started taking it over to like where the chicks were and the bartender was, I was really feeling it at that point.
Of course you were. Of course you were. I just wanted to go drink because I might have a little bit of a problem.
You got all kind of problems, but that's besides the point, Mike.
I
Um,
do. We could do a whole podcast on Mike's problems.
you know what?
That'll be our second channel.
The All-Star game, as you mentioned earlier, Metro did not do too well. They dipped out early. I believe the Atlantic won over the Central 7-5.
Now,
Ultimately, no,
now, do you think that was planned by Sid and Ovi going, hey, we're old. We don't want to be here. Let's just not play. Let's just
no.
not try. Let's just go out there, put on a little show for the fans, and get out of here.
I don't know. I mean, they were hamming it up with the boy out there and everything. I don't think they wanted to lose on purpose, but nonetheless, it happened.
Because that's what I would have done.
I
I
don't
would have been
know.
like, let's just put on a nice little show for the fans, you know, accommodate the league, give the fans what they want to see. They want to see us both out here. Do that and let's go. Let's go take all the equipment off and get back into our
I don't see Sidney
comfy
Crosby
clothes.
doing that. He's too much of a man of integrity. He's too much of a I don't know. I see that there's just something about him. He gives 100% no matter what he does, and he's just that kind of guy. You know what I mean? You know guys like this in your life. They're usually a pain in the
Yeah.
ass because you usually have to at some point live up to that because you're either working with them or on a sports team with them or in school with them, and to bring your game to where it needs to be. It's always that's the person that's a pain in the ass because they always are perfect at everything they do. It seems like, and Sidney Crosby just seems like he falls into that category, Mike.
I think Ovi gave him enough money to let that one slide.
I
That's
tell
my
you what,
conspiracy.
there's not enough money in the world to be as ugly as Ovi. I was watching a game the other day with his flat face he has. I always You know what I mean? It's like Bill Gates. These guys are so ugly. I would rather not have the money than to have all that money and look like them. They're hideous. They're hideous people.
I'd rather have that money and the talent.
Yeah, I guess I would too. I'd rather. Would you rather have Ovi's face?
I'll take his money and his talent.
No, you have to,
We'll
to
keep
take
the
his face. You have to take
no,
his face to have his money.
mm-mm. No. We got to keep this beautiful face right here.
You,
This is the
you
money
can have
maker.
all Ovi's money if you just take his face.
Fine, fuck it. I'm shallow. I need money. I like
But
money cures everything.
I tell you what, we had all-star games all throughout the weekend. Of course, the football all-star game started on Thursday. Thursday night they started the games, the all-pro
Yes.
games, the Pro Bowl games.
Yes.
Um, I like this to an extent, this format they're going with. I just don't know how long people are going to stomach it. It's fun. It's cheeky. You get to see the guys having fun. They're throwing water balloons at each other, and I mean, it was fun. Can I see people really enjoying this for years to come? I don't
No.
know, unless they change it up every year and add new wrinkles to it and change it. But I just don't know if, like I said, 5 years from now, I'm still going to be interested in sitting back and watching this.
Yeah.
I generally do like the skills competition.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if I like it to where it all adds up to decide who's the winner. I mean, the quarterback accuracy, you take those points, and then you take the points from this, and then the points from the best catch, and then the points from this, and then you play like these weird little halves of flag football. It's kind of all over the place, Mike. And like I said, maybe if they adjust some things and change it around next year to make it a little bit more, I don't know, tolerable in a sense, because like I said, there's just so much going on, and they jump from one thing to another, and they're like, "We'll be back in a little bit, and we'll finish the flag football game. But first, we're going to finish this dodgeball game, and that's going to be right after we finish." And it was almost too much in a sense. Um, I don't know. I don't know. It almost feels like the All Pro game is doomed for the NFL.
The highlight of the weekend for me, actually, there was two. First one was when the linemen were doing that gauntlet drill when
Yeah.
a big stud tackle from Detroit, Penei Sewell, just blows up that first thing. The stuff just disintegrates into thin air. It reminded me of like when Randy Johnson hit that bird. That was my highlight. And then when I forget which it was one of the receivers. Was it Stephon Diggs hiding behind the cheerleaders?
Yeah.
And it's looking like he's all like looking at their yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, it
Yeah,
definitely
those were like the two big highlights. Those are the two big things I've seen everywhere. Whereas that was like the only thing I knew what was going on was one of the receivers was hiding behind the cheerleaders. Not a bad place to hide. And Penei Sewell just blew up that board. That was the highlight of the Pro Bowl for me.
I don't even know. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, unless I really went in and read like I did this morning, I don't even think I would have known who won this whole thing.
Yeah, I turned on ESPN and it was like the top thing on their.
Excuse me.
There's like that above the fold type, to borrow
Yeah.
from newspaper. It was like, yeah, it was the first thing you see on the page was like the Pro Bowl score. I'm like, I think there were other more important sporting events going on, like NBA games that mattered, NHL games that mattered.
And speaking of NBA,
Oh wait, no, NHL had their All-Star game going on too.
we're talking about
No,
All-Star
I'm getting
game.
sick. No, I'm getting all stupid.
The All-Star game for the NBA has never changed. However, in my opinion, it's probably the best All-Star game. You have every year the 3-point contest, the slam dunk contest, and then they play the All-Star game. And you watch these guys go out there and they're having fun and they're playing the game that they actually play. And, they're not playing a watered down version. I like the NBA. I don't think that should ever change. However, like I said, the NFL, I think I don't know, Mike. I don't know. I don't know how people are reacting. I haven't gone on Twitter to see how people reacted.
Mhm.
I just don't know. To me, it's up in the air. I have it taped. There's about 25 fucking hours of all pro weekend. I just don't understand why the thing took the whole weekend plus,
Mhm.
I don't know.
They're milking it. All they're doing is milking it for TV ratings.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's another cash grab by both leagues, and uh, these events aren't going to generate new fans because what they're doing is not what you're going to see in the NFL. So you're not going to see that every Sunday Monday, Thursday night. And in the NHL All-Star game, you're not going to see that every day of the week when there's a game, because there's nothing close to, an actual contest, anything that's close to the product that you're going to turn into watch on a weekly basis. Now, the NBA and the MLB All-Star game, yeah, they're comparable to what you're going to see. Like if you never watched an NBA game and you turn on the All-Star game and you're watching dudes just dunking all over the place, draining monster threes. Yeah, I'll turn on I'll turn on a game throughout the week and watch, because I know I'm going to see something similar to it and then probably be hooked. So
Like it doesn't have a hook. The thing is, it doesn't have a hook. There's no hook.
there's no
With
hook.
baseball, you have the home run hitting contest. That's a hook. That pulls people in. With basketball, you have the slam dunk contest. That hooks people in.
Mhm.
What is it about the NFL and the NHL games that are a hook? They don't have that one big hook.
No.
And and that's the problem, and that's what's hurting these two sports, especially. Like I said, you're not going to have bad ratings when it comes to home run contest, and you're not going to have bad ratings when it comes to slam dunk contest. People love this stuff, and you got to figure out what you got to do in your sport to make it as interesting as these two, because I will watch home run hitting contest and slam dunk contest every time it's on.
Yeah. Well, like you have to remember, like when these games first started, it was at a time when you were only able to see your own team play. So you only were able to read about these players or catch a highlight here and there. So people would come out and watch these games to see the stars. Now, if I want to watch Ovechkin play, okay, I can find them online. I can find the game live anywhere. If I want to go watch, I don't know, Aaron Rodgers play or some other stud quarterback that's outside market, guess what? I'm going to turn on the NFL, whatever that package is that's going to that YouTube now. Boom. Or Sunday Ticket. Yeah, I can turn on the Sunday Ticket, watch any game I want to watch. Now I can watch all these guys whenever I want. So now it's lost that appeal of watching the best play against the best, because now I can see the best whenever I want to. So these games, they're done, man. There's no point to them other than to try and generate money. That's all they are now. That's all they are. It's just a cash grab. It's lost its appeal.
I believe Mike, the NFC one is what I gathered from reading it. And you know what? I could be wrong.
P, you're right. Regular season baseball games are a good place to take a nap.
Hey, P's back.
P's back. Yeah.
Why can't I see P, Mike?
Because we have to have YouTube up, because we're back to using this platform.
So he's over on YouTube.
Yeah. You have YouTube.
Where am I? What do you got me on?
Dude, we're on Zoom, and you have to go to YouTube yourself to pull up the comments, because your computer is sucking and won't let me use any of the cool software. Now I totally derailed you. You've lost thought.
No, I'm not derailed. I'm frustrated. Hold on.
Minor league hockey is fun to watch, P, because you never know what's going to happen in minor league hockey. Someone's going to get destroyed one way or the other. Fight's going to break out everywhere.
So are you watching us on YouTube, Mike?
Yeah, I have it. I'm bouncing back and forth between us and YouTube, baby.
Okay.
So for all our listeners out there, yes, remember, you can check us out on YouTube live every day.
Watching us on YouTube? Okay, there we go. So now
there we go. YouTube. See, look, now you're catching up,
P.
Buddy.
There we go.
There we go.
Now, for love of Pete, Mike plays these little games.
I don't play any little game.
He plays games.
I don't play game.
And he waits till I fail.
It brings me enjoyment to watch you get frustrated live on air.
Then it sets us back a whole half a show. Now it
doesn't set anything back.
Everything is set back. It's back.
It's back. Oh, Ryan's lost it. He's flipped it. He's going to throw something at me next time I'm over at the studio.
Now I'm near death here. You know that I'm near death. I just almost choked on my cough drop.
I think today's title of the episode will be Ryan Confused.
I'm not confused. Again. You're screwing me.
How am I screwing you?
I don't know. Oh, damn. Hey, any way you put it, I have my motherfucking Monday pen and I'm ready to go.
See that's the energy I want from you. I want the motherfucking
the one thing
Monday
that I'm annoyed
energy.
with, Mike, besides for you, the one thing that I'm really annoyed with about the All-Pro games are the All-Pro games or the Mannings. I don't know how much more of the Mannings, and I don't know how the Mannings are raking in ratings to the sense that this is what we're doing for every event. You have the Mannings announcing games during the year, and they have their own little boxes on the side of the screen. Now you have the Mannings coaching the all-pro team. Mike, what is it about the Mannings? Is there nobody else out there that could entertain us?
Well, you got the Mannings, you got Pat McAfee's show, and that's about it right now. So you're
And I
stuck
don't
with
know which
either
one's
one of
more
those two.
annoying. I think I'd rather watch the Mannings.
Yeah, Pat McAfee and his people do tend to go a bit overboard sometimes.
He's a
I
pain
like
in
him.
the ass.
I like him though. He's funny.
He's not funny.
But the Mannings, they're just too. If without football, these two dudes would be like nothing in life, and they would. It feels like this is what they would do if they didn't play football. They'd just be sitting around being two
Why do
idiots
we have to
together.
deal with it? Why do we have
Because
to?
they're engaging. They're funny. They're affable people.
No, Peyton Manning is tolerable.
I love
Eli
Eli.
Manning is just ugly.
You put some respect on Chad Powers' name, okay? You do
He
not
is just
disrespect
ugly.
Chad
He
Powers.
has scrunched face. He's almost like Ovi. I wouldn't take his face either if you give me all the money in the world.
You're just a hater.
Yes. Thank you.
You are the biggest hater around. And yeah, P, baseball is just a lot of ball scratching and spitting. It's two of my favorite activities.
I thought that was about, he was talking about our show. I seen that.
Scratching balls and spitting.
Yeah. Also, Mike, we did so that was the All-Star games for the weekend, the NHL, the NBA, the NFL. I'm confused. These games are confusing me. And hockey is it's still kind of weird to me. I don't know if I'm catching on, if it's growing on me yet with this 3-on-3, and then you win, and then I don't know. I like I said, give me the baseball home run hitting contest, and also give me the slam dunk contest. I'm in these contests. I guess they still have to grow on me. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. I'm just confused. Like I said, at the end of this weekend, I don't feel fulfilled. I don't have my all-star fulfillment. I don't know. I'm just bring on the all-star games from the other sports for me, please.
Yes. These two ones are just annoying.
Cam, he's a ham the whole entire time. He's hopping in front of the camera and making faces and growling and just doing all this other stuff. And and Minka, I don't know. I guess I seen Minka play dodgeball, and I seen Cam pull a sled. So I don't know. Maybe we should seen them make paper airplanes and see how far they could throw them as well.
Maybe we can see Cam Hayward step up in a playoff game next. That would be nice.
That would be that's something I want to see. Screw putting Cam in the Pro Bowl game. I don't want to see him in that. I'd like to see Cam
producing a Pro Bowl or producing a
playoff game. Maybe winning. Yes, exactly. So let's move on. Like these All-Star games are giving me a headache. Anyway, we got Colorado coming to town tomorrow.
I'm sorry. P just has the perfect summation of the Pat McAfee show. A punter and two washed troglodytes walk into a bar.
Exactly.
P, props for using the word troglodyte. That's one of my favorite words.
Putting them up on the screen so people can see?
There's no way to put them up on the screen on this platform.
On YouTube though?
Yeah, on YouTube, the people will see them. Settle down. We're good.
Because I'm not seeing them pop up on YouTube, is what I'm saying.
They're popping up on YouTube. They're on my screen.
Okay.
You're behind. Everything's behind.
No, I'm not behind. Is what I'm saying is I'm looking at the chat and it's popping up there, but it's not up on the screen where it usually is once you put it up on the screen.
Yeah, because I can't do that with Zoom.
You can't do that over on YouTube though.
It's no. On YouTube when people
watch
have
no idea
when people watch it on
we,
YouTube,
we have to narrate.
Just trust me, I know how it works. When people go back and watch YouTube, it will pop.
Well, they have no idea what you're talking about. You see what I'm saying? I don't know what you're talking about unless I look down at his comments.
Yeah, but when they're watching on YouTube, they will see it.
So it's going to pop up on their screen. They'll be able to see
it. Yeah, they'll see it.
Okay. Because I don't see it popping up on YouTube on the screen is what I'm saying.
It won't pop up on the screen, but it's like right off to the side on the chat bar. You'll see it.
So if they don't have their chat open, they won't know what it says.
Well, that's on them. Our fans know what to do.
Also, Mike, tomorrow night, the Penguins are back in action. They have the Colorado Avalanche coming to town, finally getting back on the ice, see what the Penguins could do. Hopefully they could come out of this break a little bit hotter than they were when they left and went to the All-Star game. Mike, this team was cold. They lost quite a few games in a row. I don't know. What do you feel coming out of this All-Star break for the Penguins?
More of the same. Because Ron Hextall had his press conference where he announced nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. We're not going to make a trade to make a trade. Well, first of all, Ron, you have to want to do something. So, wake up from your nap. You've been sleeping on this team for for a couple years now. And how about you do your job? Because anyone who has a pulse and who has watched at least one hockey game in their life can see that this team needs a major shakeup. You're gonna have to trade someone outside of that core. You're gonna have to trade. You can't trade Crosby, Letang, and Malkin. And I think Rust has like a limited no movement clause. So guess what? If you want to shake this team up, you're gonna have to trade. I hate to say it, you're gonna have to trade someone like Jake Gensel. Damn good player, but that's gonna send a message to the rest of the team that look, no one's job here is safe. If we need to improve this team and we're going to do what we have to do to win, you guys want to win, guess what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to trade someone who's going to bring back the most value, the most cap space. And it's going to have to be someone who is kind of, more than just a key player, kind of working his way into the core. But guess what? He's one of the players they might have to move. Shake this team up. Go out and get yourself another goalie because Jari, when he's healthy, he's probably top 10 goalie, but he's not healthy. DeSmith is washed. I'm sorry, he's not even a quality backup anymore. So this team needs a lot of improvement. And my God,
you think his team makes the playoffs this year, Mike?
That's when I'm pulling up the standings right now. But my general feeling right now is like, no, I don't think they are. I don't think they're going to make it. Because right now we have 57 points right behind us. Sabres at 56, Islanders at 55. Yeah. We are in danger of losing our playoff spot to those two teams right there. And that's a sad state of affairs. And this coaching staff, they refuse to change their style of play. It's a joke. It's a joke. I am very frustrated with this team.
I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think it's hard to not make the playoffs in hockey.
That's why it would be an embarrassment if they don't make it.
I think we made it every year since the beginning of time, didn't we?
We're on like a 16-year run or something like that.
Okay.
Did you just change your name to Not Mike?
No, I didn't just change my name to Not Mike. It's been like that the whole show, you jackass.
That's messed up, bro.
Also, Mike, besides for the big hockey game tomorrow night, we have the big Mike. Now, this game is big. Stop goofing off for a minute and bear with me.
But you're the one goofing off.
Now they have the Mike Pitt. Louisville's coming to town. Louisville's a pretty bad team. Now here's how it plays out. Louisville comes to town tomorrow night at the Pete, 7:00. If Pitt wins this game, they will be tied with Clemson in first place amongst the ACC standings. I like it. I like it a lot. I just want to know if we beat Louisville, which we should, and pop up to the top of the conference tomorrow, will we ever get any respect and get a little bit of ranking respect from the NCAA?
Oh,
I mean, everybody around us is ranked. Clemson's ranked. Virginia's ranked. All these teams right there, except us. And like I said, but if we pop into that number one spot, you got to kind of slide us in there.
You have to. They've beaten. I'm looking at the schedule now. They've only had 2 losses to ranked teams.
Yeah.
And it's not like they were bad. Oh, yeah. Okay. That first one to Michigan was a bad loss, but that was like the second, third game of the year.
Right.
So throw that one out the window. But everyone else, they've been competitive against ranked opponents. This team should be ranked, but this is what happens in college sports. When you've been bad for a while and you start to improve, you don't see that recognition until the following year. So this is a team that I don't think it wouldn't surprise me if they're not ranked this year, even if they keep winning and win out and make it to the tourney. It's just it's the way it works, man. You have to the voters think, okay, this might be a flash in the pan type team. They haven't had a lot of success recently, so we're not going to really recognize them. But then they come out next year and play. I know this is the way it is.
You could always say Clemson just because they're always at the top of the ACC, but these other teams are Virginia and whatever that other ranked team. I can't think of who it is off the top of my head. They're not these great teams. They're always great. I just you know what? If they win tomorrow, like I said, they should, but there's a chance because Pitt, this happens to us all the time. But if they win tomorrow, they should somehow break into the top rankings. And here's the thing, you're sitting at the top of the conference. It isn't like
Mhm.
it's they're having a good little run. They've won more away games than anybody else in the whole entire conference. They've they're doing a bunch of pretty amazing things this year, Mike. I think it's going to be an amazing run for these guys. And like I said, if you're sitting in that top spot, it's going to be hard to miss the big tournament here in a
Oh
month,
yeah.
unless you have the biggest implosion in college basketball, which you'd hope to not see. But again, it's Pitt. I'm not rolling it out.
well, well, I think Pete's comment kind of speaks to the point of like Pitt basketball in general. Like Pitt ranks ain't so if they're anything at NC State, they'll have a terrible losing streak. So maybe like that's right, man. We've talked about this before with Pitt sports, whether it be football or basketball. Whenever they get ranked, man, you'll look out because something bad's about to happen. So I think it might be best for them to not be ranked,
You're right.
just to sneak
Stay
in, fly
unranked all the
in
way.
under that radar. Because I was looking now at the ranking pool and the AP, they had 9 votes to be ranked.
Yeah.
Coaches pool 2. So they're really not getting a lot of respect anywhere from the media or from the coaches in
Dude,
the league. So
wouldn't it be crazy if
fly
they
under
ended
the
up?
radar, man. Keep playing
What if
that
they went and they won
spoiler.
it all? I would just shit if this team went and won it all.
That how many
They still
things
wouldn't
would
be
have
ranked.
to how many dominoes would have to be lined up. Everything would have to be perfect for that to happen.
They still wouldn't be ranked.
They wouldn't.
They'd be on the front of Sports Illustrated with the trophy, and they wouldn't be ranked in the top 25.
No, they'd be up to like 10 votes and 5 votes.
So that Mike, this tomorrow also at 7:00. So we got our sports coming back. The All-Star weekend is over. Obviously we got the Super Bowl next weekend.
Yes.
We're going to talk more Super Bowl as the week goes on. We got predictions, all that kind of stuff. But like I said, tomorrow we got Colorado at the Penguins. We have Louisville at Pitt. So get back out, start supporting your teams, and feel the Pete, because that place it's amazing when it's loud, Mike. It's been pretty amazing this year. These kids up in the zoo, they've really been giving it everything, and it's really fun. It's fun to watch. It's definitely fun to watch.
It is. I always liked the Pete. Not a big Pitt fan, but when you'd be flipping through the channels when they would always be on, you see that place rocking and rolling. How can you not stop and watch?
Bart Scott, former Baltimore Ravens linebacker. It took me 5 years of therapy just not to punch Hines Ward in the face when I saw him when I saw him on site. I love that statement, whether it's true, whether it's not. I don't care. It speaks volumes of the Steelers Ravens rivalry, Mike. When I seen that, it gives you the warm and fuzzies, and it makes you happy to be a part of that rivalry.
Yes,
because Hines Ward he had a way about him. He had a way that he could jack you up on the field and then smile in your face and piss you off. My question to you, Mike, who's that one guy? Who's the one guy in the NFL when you're watching games or over the years, you personally would be the one guy that you would just want to punch in the face because they have that effect on you? And I have a name. If you want me to go first, I will.
Go first, because I am thinking there's a lot.
TJ Houshmandzadeh was one guy that I would have karate kicked right in his face every time I seen him at one point in my life. He just had that face. He just pissed you off, and he was always doing just enough on the field against the Steelers for the Cincinnati Bengals back then, to where it really pissed you off in a way. And TJ Houshmandzadeh would be my guy. There's nobody else that I could honestly say that I would be like that with or have that feeling towards besides TJ. What about yourself, Mike?
Junior Seau was always that player for me.
You didn't like Junior, huh?
Junior, let me run over to the pile, put my hand on it, do a gesticulating dance, and get all the credit for the play that someone else made. I hated that. I would watch games because at that time the Chargers were big and they were always being played, and everyone loved Junior Seau, but he could fly in out of nowhere. The play's over. He'd do a dance, and the announcers would be like, "Oh, what a great play by Seau." It reminds me of Chris Collinsworth going, "Oh, this is a great play by Mahomes right there." That's what Junior Seau is that guy for me. He was. I never saw the appeal of Junior Seau. He'd always show up late to a play, do a little dance, and get the credit.
Let me ask you this: would you punch his dead face?
Yes.
You would dig him up and punch him right in the dead face, is what you're telling me?
Yes.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Oh, that's going on. That's going to be the next short. Mike, will punch a dead man in the face.
um, Also, Mike, now this Taylor Lewin, is that how you
Mm-hmm.
pronounce his name? Now, this is interesting, this whole thing that's playing out with him and TJ Watt. So apparently, what he spit in TJ's face at some point during the game, and
I
now
think so.
he wants to be on the Steelers. He's one of these competitive guys. Apparently, he has a crazy side to him as well. There's a lot of stories about him where he has this mean streak. Well, apparently, once during a game, we must have been playing Tennessee, and he supposedly spit in TJ Watt's face. So now he wants to be on the Steelers, and he invited TJ onto his podcast, Mike, to talk about the
Uh-huh.
situation, maybe comb it over. And TJ declined. And you know what I think? Give me 1 second. I'm going to get more back on TJ in a second here. But I don't know. This guy, Mike, I don't know if I care for him for a couple of reasons. For one, you told me about his stats last year. You basically told me that he was not much better than what we already have at that position.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one for me. That's one strike because I'm not looking for somebody who's just barely better than the guys that we just had. I want an improvement if we're going to fill that position with
Yeah.
free agency. And two, he's a bit of a pain in the ass, isn't he?
No, I'm starting to like
You
Tyler.
like him?
I'm liking him a lot more. This guy's a fiery competitor. Things happen out on the football field. You know how it is when you get competitive. You
Oh, I
go
always
out there.
spit in people's faces when I used to play sports. You love it.
Oh yeah, when you're going at it, is things getting violent, nasty out there. Stuff happens. Now TJ Watts is sounding like a little baby in this situation.
He didn't do anything. He just said
He's
he
he
just want
doesn't
to be
want to
on
be on
your.
his podcast. He's being a little baby. Just no, be a man. Be a man. Be a man. Sit down, talk to him, apologize. Hash it out like men. My God, TJ
Send him
Watt's
over
such a
to
little
talk to
baby.
McAfee. I'm sure he could talk his ear off. Another thing about
I just
about
said TJ, the whole Watt family, they just annoy me.
here's the thing about TJ. What I realized about him, he may have opted out of the All Pro game to let his body heal, but I just don't see him out there hanging out with these guys doing these goofy things. And I'm watching this the other day, and I'm thinking, I can't see TJ out there throwing a water balloon to another guy. I think that TJ Watt is too much of an alpha male for the group of
Oh,
guys.
that's an overblown fate. Alpha male. I'm an
He
alpha male.
he is an alpha male for one.
Then if he's an alpha male, he'd be out there taking care of everyone, making sure everyone's okay and provided for. He should have been out there with his team.
No,
Should have been
no,
out there with the boys, making
no,
sure
that's
everyone's
wrong.
okay and taken care
No,
of.
no. He doesn't want to participate because it's goofy. I wouldn't want to be out there participating. I wouldn't want to be out there throwing these balloons. Mike, if it was about football, that's different. He's a football player. I want to go out there and be involved in something that's football related. If you're throwing a water balloon 10 yards to see if you could get the guy across me to catch it without it splashing, that's goofy. I think that TJ didn't want to have anything to do with
I
this.
think TJ's just a little bitch.
I think that you're wrong. But here's the thing. If this dude if it had anything to do with football, I would say, you know what, that sucks. I would have liked to see him be involved. What this disaster was this past weekend, Mike. I don't know if I would want to be involved in this in any capacity. If I was any of these guys, the only people that seem like that they're interested in this kind of game in this kind of format is people like Cam Hayward. They want to get on TV. They want to ham it up. They want to go out and do things like that. This is a Cam Hayward type of
Oh
event
yeah, it
for me.
is. But TJ Watt's just a little baby. The whole Watt family.
Oh,
They,
you're
they, they,
insane.
yeah, they have like people like them. They always have that. Oh,
You're right,
I'm
P.
just so perfect.
Hold
I'm
on.
so great. But yet, deep down inside, they just look like assholes. They're like the ones that would start shit and just go,
What are
"Oh,
you
I'm just so
talking about?
affable and lovable." So I'm backing Tyler Lewin in this one.
They didn't really start any shit. The guy spit in his face, and P, you're
How do we
right.
know TJ Watt wasn't doing something? He looks like that guy would do something
Don't you
dirty
think
and
the
it's
guy
like,
would have
"Oh
mentioned that
man, I'm
part?
affable, I'm lovable. Look at me, look at me." Yeah, I don't trust TJ Watt.
You're insane. I think, P, you're 100% right. Spit in the face is the ultimate disrespect. I couldn't agree with you more. I seen
No,
it.
no, 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 no. The water balloon toss in the strip club. Okay, now we got something to talk about.
Okay, does anybody again know? Okay, it's coming up on your screen, right?
Yeah, it's coming up on my screen. Yeah,
And
yeah.
the bubble, so people could know that it's there.
Yes.
You don't see that this is a problem that people don't see what's being said.
No, no. They'll be able to see it. They're
Okay,
watching on YouTube, and it's right there.
and it's going to come up on the bubble
It's
on
gonna
the
come.
screen.
It's gonna be on the chat.
But if
They'll
they're
see.
not watching the chat, is what I'm saying, Mike.
Well, it's not my fault that the other platforms
Well,
aren't
then you
working
have
right
to,
now.
but that becomes our fault if we don't let people know what we're talking about. We can't just random, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? That's all I'm
they know
saying.
what's up. They know what's up. They know we're talking in the
But
chat.
anyway, the spit in the face is the ultimate disrespect. And if you go back to Bill Romanowski doing it to Terrell Owens, all the way back, you've seen these incidents over time. I think that as one of the worst things that you can do. I agree with you 100%. P. It's unacceptable in pro sports. What 100%.
I think TJ Watt was secretly, throwing nut punches. He's just trying to hit him in the balls. And like, my man Luan was like, no, we ain't doing that. So he spit on him.
So then we got also Mike Brian Flores. The Broncos requested a interview with Brian Flores to interview for
Yes.
the defensive coordinator position. I don't know what happened under Sean Payton, of course. I don't know what happened between then and now, Mike, because I did see somebody say yesterday on social media. It was a semi-reliable source here in Pittsburgh. They says it looks like Brian Flores is going to be staying. It looks like he's going to be staying. He'll be around in Pittsburgh for another year. I don't know what came to that conclusion, and I don't know what source that came from for that person, but that's interesting to me.
That would be actually kind of huge if he does stay, because my God, we saw the way that defense improved throughout the year. And that would be awesome if he does stay, because if he stays another year, I think, then if he goes somewhere else, gets a job, and if he's still under contract and everything, the Steelers can gain a draft pick. So that would be huge right there. I'm just more worried about the draft pick. But if he does stay, that's actually going to help a lot. We saw the way that defense improved. And for some of the players we might be losing, we're going to need him working with that defense.
Yeah. Yeah. I like him. I think he did good things this year. I think he helped the defense improve. Like I said, I'm not real sure where the original source of this is, if whether it's from the mouth of Brian Flores himself or somebody from the Steelers organization. But that would be I would like Brian Flores to be here one more season. And then after that, if he could get some opportunities elsewhere, maybe land a good coaching job and make a lot of money, maybe he'll do that. So, Mike, couple more things here in the Steelers. Antonio Brown back in the news the other day. Antonio Brown now says that it's James Harrison's fault that he has CTE. James Harrison's fault that he has CTE, Mike, apparently because James Harrison wore what Antonio Brown called an illegal helmet for years and years and years.
For 20 years.
For 20 years. 20 years.
Wasn't it even in the league that long?
He wasn't in the league that long. And also, if that was the case, Mike, there'd be people with CTE all over the place. The way that this guy placed hits on people was unbelievable. I think Antonio Brown just is a nut, and he's just talking to hear himself talk anymore.
Like in AB, you should know, like CTE, you can only be diagnosed with that after you're dead and they do an autopsy on your brain.
He literally
that's the only way to find out. And like people forget, like AB was a little crazy before any hit to the head, before he made it to the pros. He had issues in college with attitude, so he always had something with him. So it's easy to say all the hits did it. Yeah, they probably didn't help, but this guy was nuts beforehand. The Steelers kept him under control for like what 8-9 years. They placated to him and.
What the
to keep him in check
was,
because he was producing, but then he eventually kept getting crazier and crazier. So, yeah, dude's just a whack job, and I don't blame James Harrison. I blame the NFL script writers. Okay, they told them to give. James Harrison got his script and saw he had to give his boy CTE. AB apparently did not get that script, so I blame the writers, and they should have warned AB what was about to happen. He could have planned better.
Speaking of which, Mike, did you see the this meme? I guess it is. It's got the latest script for the Super Bowl that was released over the weekend. With a Eagles 37, Kansas City 34 final for the Super Bowl. Obviously, hopefully, maybe a joke, but it's causing a lot of stir. It has the amount of people that were at the stadium for attendance. It has the amount of time, 3 hours and 36 minutes, whatever. I find it funny.
I hope all this comes to pass. I hope whoever wrote this, it's perfect.
You know what? If Philadelphia wins this game 37-34, this will blow the roof off of everything.
I will love it. I will love it.
This is all you'll hear about.
You know what? I'm full. At first I was like, no, there's no way this stuff's scripted. Now I'm a convert. This stuff is a 100%. I can't even say it with a straight face.
Uh, 17 years, Mike. It's been 17 years since Jerome the Bus Bettis has retired. Can you believe 17 years ago already? 17 years, almost 2 decades, Mike, since the last time we seen Bussy out on the field.
I had hair when Bus was out on the field.
Did you really?
Yeah, I'm making this all about me.
I see that. This has been
This is how I remember things. Okay, people were like, "Oh, I remember I was here. I did this." Like, no, I remember if I had hair or not.
Wow.
But yes, the Bus 17 years after Big Ben saved his career. He could have been Bill Buckner, but he turned him into a
That's
Hall of
true.
Fame. Yes.
That's an interesting comment, P. Put that up real quick, my last one.
I can't put stuff up. People
Okay.
will see it onto the side. They
So
know how
anybody,
YouTube works.
if you want to go over to the chat, you can see that on the last comment is what I'm talking about. No, what, Mike? What?
I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing at you. Well, I love it when Grandpa gets on the internet.
No, it's not Grandpa. I'm you. We have to, Mike. People got to know what we're talking about.
Oh, they trust me. They know what we're talking about,
They
man.
don't have their chat open, which a lot of people don't.
Oh, a lot of people do on live
A
streams.
lot
They
of people
always
do,
watch the
but
chat
guess
because
what?
they know
don't.
people
And if they have
interact.
no idea what we're
They
talking
know
about,
when people interact. They know when people interact.
and the people that don't.
Well, they're going to learn to click, open chat.
It's a communication issue. You see what I'm saying? We have to.
Yeah, but they'll know to click the chat because they'll be like, "Who the hell are we talking to?" And I'm like, "Oh, the chat bar."
So anyway, I got knocked out like that once. I was floating above my body for a few minutes. Now that's interesting to me, P. I think that's a whole thing for a whole nother day. Dude, you died. Ain't that what they say? Like when you die, you're floating above your body. Who killed P?
P got his script for high school football and was like, "Oh man." P turned out to be the original Damar Hamlin. Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew? That's a
He was
body
Kenny
double.
from
That's
South
not the
Park.
that's not the real P. That's the body double.
Yeah. This is the body
That's the
double.
AI chat talking to us. He got sent to the astral plane. Oh, P.
I need another cough drop.
You need a lot of things right now.
Willie Parker, Mike, still 17 years later. Willie Parker still holds the lead for the longest run in Super Bowl history when he took the 75-yard run to the house.
Yes.
If you recall, I think it was very early, maybe the first offensive play in the second half of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I believe it was, yes.
In Big Super Bowl 40.
Faneca.
No, that play, 75 yards, Mike, still nobody has a running play as long as Willie Parker.
No, I like how people say because that safety that he burnt, he's the one who got stabbed in the leg before the game, like the week of the game. Like, oh, if he didn't get stabbed, that he would have tackled him. Well, why is he getting stabbed? That was his fault. Don't be making excuses. That's all I got.
David Bednar, Pirates pitcher. He is also from Mars local high school here. He had his high school jersey retired on Friday. Mike, his high school jersey from Mars High School.
Hey, he's never going to get his Pirate jersey retired, so way to shit on his accomplishments, Mike.
Also, let's see. I got a couple of things here, Mike, about the Super Bowl. The Eagles.
Yes.
An interesting Eagle stat, or it's not even a stat. It's just an interesting Eagles bit of information.
Yes.
The Eagles are the only team that have the left-facing logo. Now, yes, they do on helmets. They have them going both ways, but the official logo, Mike, is a left-facing logo, and they are the only team in the NFL with the left-facing logo. And what they try to do by making the left-facing logo, if the feathers on the back of his head, one facing left, they make an E. There's an E in the feathers.
Oh, no way.
Yes, and apparently people are supposed to know this, and there's people that are in Philadelphia, hardcore fans that didn't even know this. The article I'm reading is some of the most hardcore Philadelphia Eagles fans did not even know this. But yes, the feathers on the back of their head when the logo is facing the official way makes an E.
I did not know that. Yeah, I kind of see it.
You
now.
See the E?
I see the E. You know what? That's going to be the thumbnail. It's the Eagles logo, so everyone can see the E.
Joe Mixon, Mike, he had a warrant out for his arrest a couple days ago. I don't know if the police got him or not yet, but I do want to say that he did have a warrant out for his arrest. Did you hear what he did?
The whole thing's been dropped.
It's been dropped.
The prosecutors aren't going to prosecute.
Apparently, he pointed a gun at a woman. He said to her, "I should pop you in the face right now. I should shoot you." So for whatever reason, as Mike's saying, apparently it got dropped, which I think
that's the last thing I saw was that it was all dropped.
It was, I think, is a big mistake. I think that you still have to continue to go after people if they did something to you. Otherwise, it's not going to get better, and these situations won't stop. But
Joe Mixon, he's working on that college script, so I think that's what happened. The police found out, he had the wrong information, and he shouldn't have done that. So,
what a dumb thing to say.
I know. I know. If he did it, yeah, get him. But if the person that it was done to, they don't want to press charges. They tell the prosecutor they don't want to pursue it. There's,
yeah.
I don't know. Unless someone's being paid off just to make it all go
That's
away.
what it sounds like to me.
Oh, yeah.
I wish somebody would pay me. I wish somebody would I wish a pro athlete would point a gun at my head and tell me they're going to shoot me just so they could pay me off not to press charges.
That's why I was like when people say, "Oh, would you say this to like Cam Hayward to his face?" All the stuff I say, like, yeah, I would. What's he going to do? Punch me? Okay, thanks, Cam. Now I own everything that you own. Thank you. Any pro athlete, any famous person, if you say something to them to their face and they punch you, fuck yeah, make it rain, baby, make it rain. That's my retirement plan, by the way. To be assaulted by famous people.
I do have a couple of things here, Mike, real quick about Tom Brady. And we all know that he retired just last week. And just a couple interesting numbers on Tom Brady, Mike, on the GOAT. Check this out. Tom Brady, his all-time record now is 251 and 84. Okay. 251 and 84. He has more wins than 4 professional franchises. The Ravens only have 243 wins. The Panthers have 212. The Jaguars have 189. And the Texans have 142. And Tom Brady has 251. 251. The Ravens, 243.
The Ravens had, all these teams are like newer teams.
They've all been around longer than Tom Brady.
The Ravens do have 2 Super Bowls.
They've all been around longer than Tom Brady.
Yeah, but they were all like outside of the Ravens. The other ones were all expansion teams. So they started out with like nothing.
92,
but that is impressive.
93, 97. I mean, 30 years. I mean, and this guy, it's what I'm saying. It's
impressive. It is very impressive.
Wins.
That's insane. Like Tom Brady, like if you break down his career, he had like 3 Hall of Fame careers. Fuck that guy.
He did have 3 Hall of Fame careers.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
And also, we talk about Ben's success against teams like the Browns and the Bengals. Of course, Ben owned the Browns. He played them 29 times and won 26. And the Bengals, of course, he played 34 times and won 24. But check out some TB here. In the first 2 spots owned by the statistic is Tom Brady. He played the the Bills 36 times and beat them 33. And he played the Jets 37 times and beat them 30. I'm surprised that he lost to the Jets 7 times over 30 years or 20 years or whatever it was. It don't seem like the Jets pulled off that many upsets against him. But,
no. But hey, man, when Mark Sanchez is under center, you don't know what's going to happen. Did you see P's comment?
No.
Okay, it just popped up. I have a crazy idea. We need a remake of Flash Gordon starring Tom Brady. Who's coming with me?
You're right.
I am in. I will offer, $20. That's all I can afford right now for the production budget. I just asked that I'm listed as executive producer. And I am in.
Mike, also, let me hop to a couple non-sports related stories while we have a little bit of time. Self-driving Zambonis. I would have thought this would have been a thing already. In the University of Carnegie Mellon, they are currently working on self-driving Zambonis. I would have thought when they had the vacuum cleaner that went around the room and
the Roomba.
On its own, the Roomba, yeah. I would have thought they would have had a Zamboomba, and it would have did the same thing and would just basically went around the ice and did what the what they do. Do you like it, Mike? Do you like the self-driving Zamboni?
No, because I want to ride the Zamboni. Well, wait. Now, if there's a self-driving one, everyone can ride the Zamboni. You don't need to be trained. You can just sit there and ride around on the Zamboni. So yes, I like the self-driving Zamboni.
And there you go. Mike
I will.
he could get a ride. You know what? You could go down to Wheeling, Mike, to one of the minor league games, and you could actually ride the Zamboni. They have that for
What?
fans. Yeah.
You're just now telling me this. You've kept this information buried for a long time. I don't like you no more. We're done. We're done. Podcast over.
6-year-old in Michigan, Mike, ordered $1,000 worth of food over his dad's phone. You know, that's dad's fault.
Yeah.
You have your Grubhub and your DoorDash and all that stuff set up apparently. And what did he order $1,000 of food? I mean, over time.
At one time? Yeah, that's wild.
Do you not notice that there's bags of fast food piling up on the kitchen counter? I don't understand it, but yes, Mike, apparently $1,000 worth of food the 6-year-old ordered up in Michigan.
You know what? That kid's my hero because if I had access to this shit when I was little, I would do the same thing. And like my kid, he's 4 now. He's starting to know, he knows what DoorDash is. Because if I'm too lazy, I just don't feel like driving. I'll order something every once in a while. And he knows that DoorDash app. And I'm afraid he will figure out how to use it. And then he'll wipe my bank account out.
And I think we've seen this. I think in one of the shows we did last year, I believe that there was a story about a kid buying a whole bunch of cheeseburgers from McDonald's or something.
Yeah, he got hungry. He's like, I need my snack.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Speaking of little terrorists that order food. And yeah, what is going to happen to the pro Zamboni drivers?
I don't think they're really a pro. I think they're just guys that work at the arena a lot of times. You see them, they have like flannel shirts on and they're just
they might have to
be there.
It's still drive around, sit on the Zamboni in case something happens to it. Kind of like, how like Teslas, tend to go off course and kill people.
Yeah.
And catch fire. You need the guy on the Zamboni to make sure it's safe.
Negative 108 wind chill, Mike. Negative 108 wind chill at Mount Washington, New Hampshire over the weekend. That's the lowest in U.S. history.
I saw I was watching the news and they had like the live camera up at that Mount Washington. And it was just frozen solid with ice and the wind is just whipping around. Jeez. That's like instant frostbite. Like I was reading stuff saying like in some of these wind chills, if you were outside in 10 seconds, any skin that was exposed for like 10 seconds, you had the potential of getting frostbite.
That is
insane. I like the cold, but that's just a bit too cold.
Minus 108. P's last comment. I probably ate $100 in Twinkies in the 80s. My body was never the same. I agree, man. Do you recall doing that when you were a kid? Just, getting the snack cakes and just finishing the box within minutes.
Yeah. And then you watch like your skinny friend whose metabolism was so fast and
he's eating 3 boxes.
Yeah. You eat a Twinkie and you're like,
yeah.
Oh God, I feel the fat forming.
Mike, there's also Peeps Pepsi. The other day I talked about the Peeps. The guy that created Peeps had passed away at the end of the week last week in his 90s. There is now, Mike, I seen over the weekend for the Easter holidays come up this year. There's going to be Peeps Pepsi. Peeps Pepsi.
You know what? I'm not a religious person, but I think that's like one of the signs of the apocalypse. Like in every religion,
not the minus
every
108 temperature.
No. It's Pepsi. Like even like us, non-believers, and we're going like that might be the sign that we ran our course and it just needs to end. Peeps Pepsi, that's the end. I think everyone can agree.
Can you have thought of a more fucked up thing? And the thing, yeah,
there's like peaks of civilization. Like we went to the moon. I think this is like the valley of the civilization. We made Pepsi.
What's it gonna be like? The candy corn Pepsi next?
You know what? Don't sleep. People be hating on candy corn, but when you're in the mood for some wax, that's some good shit.
Yeah. Also, Mike,
I don't know what we're talking about, buddy, because Uncle
after chat,
Uncle not Mike just ran away.
What's that?
Whoa. No, your camera. Your camera broke for a minute.
After GPT breakthrough, people will soon be able to talk to their dead relatives in the metaverse, Mike.
Yeah, I've seen stuff like this. Not like only Chat GPT, but I think we talked about this before. I was watching a program. It might have been like late last year, late last year, of how I think it was like a Holocaust museum. They were having people sit down and they were answer questions and they would record them and they recorded their face and then you can like sit there and have a conversation with them because the AI would look for specific words that you said and they would search and give you the answer. So I have
Yeah,
a feeling it's like kind of like the same thing. It's actually kind of cool
a
because
lot
you
of
like
this.
you give it prompts and stuff, ask questions, and you then like or you have it ask you questions and you answer them and it like stores it and then you can sit there and have conversations with the AI. It's kind of cool.
And also, basically anything that we do anymore, it has some kind of electronic footprint. And
Yeah.
when it's all said and done, Mike, and you die, they'll be able to go in and anything that was related to you, what you're doing now, your mannerisms, just things that you say, certain ways you say, take your voice, anything
Hmm.
like that. You could go in because it's all we're putting it all out there. Everything that people do, we're putting it out there, and it's going to be
Yeah.
accessible. And if the AI is able to take all this stuff and pretty much create you
Yeah.
from what it has, it won't be hard at all. You wouldn't think to be able to create that kind of system where you're talking to someone who's deceased because you have enough from that person to create that.
I kind of got distracted here reading P's comment about my candy corn. Liking candy corn is why weed was illegal for so long. They were trying to save us. I will not sit here and let you slander candy corn.
You know what I liked? Speaking of wax, remember them wax things that have like the bottles that have like the juice in it?
Yeah,
You bite the top off and then you drink that little tiny
yeah.
bit of juice.
Remember like
What
the
was it about wax? Why were we always
and
eating
like
wax?
the wax lips.
Yeah, the
They had like
wax
the vampire
lips.
teeth or like the big red hooker lips that they would let little
Why?
kids wear all the
Yeah.
time back in the day.
Why so
Yeah,
much wax?
I don't get it,
Like we
but
were
they
always eating wax.
I should that explains a lot about our generation.
Yes, it does. This this hasn't dawned on me till just right
You
now,
know,
this very
we want to
moment.
make fun of like millennials for like, oh, they did the Tide Pod challenge. Us
Yeah.
Gen Xers, we were eating fucking wax
For a
like it was
long
going out
period
of
of time,
style.
at least these kids stopped with the Tide Pods. I ate wax the whole way through my childhood.
Yeah, yeah. So I think who are we to judge?
That's
He who was
true.
out eating wax can cast the first stone or some shit.
There you go.
I'm rewriting the Bible right now.
Here we go. And then one last story, Mike. Obviously, we're not going to get into the Grammys today because I don't think you're prepared for the Grammys. But
I woke up and I'm like, what the hell is going on? For one, I didn't know the Grammys were on. Two, I'm like, this is kind of wild.
the one thing that did have people talking over the weekend, Mike, is this weather balloon. This weather balloon. Give me your take on the weather balloon, Mike, because I literally have nothing on it.
So yeah, there was a balloon. We knew about it on like they knew about it like on a Wednesday, then it didn't come out until like what a Friday. Once like people started seeing it, like, oh, we got to do this, got to do that, and eventually, we blew it up over the coast of Carolina, so it falls in the ocean, not anywhere in the U.S. to potentially harm someone or harm property, or if there's something on there could damage it. And apparently, this isn't like the first time it happened. Like past 4 years, like or past in the previous administration, like it happened 3 times and no one told anyone about it. So we know about it, and apparently, we were able to scramble all their technology and we're able to recover their stuff and see what they have. And it's kind of cool. It was cool watching it blow up.
And that was from China.
Yeah,
The weather balloon was a Chinese weather balloon.
yeah. I just can't wait till people learn about satellites.
Now, the weather balloon, Mike, they said that it came from Alaska down to South Carolina was the route that it traveled.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so they're taking it. Normally, I don't think the jet stream goes that way. So they're recovering it to take a look at like navigation systems and see if there's like a navigation system and a propulsion system.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know much about these weather balloons. They're
It's a
capable of that.
it's a weather balloon. Really, it's like a spy balloon. But like these balloons, they started out as
Right.
weather balloons.
I mean,
And yeah,
are they remote controlled? Is that how they?
that would be well because we can kind of control. like the rovers on Mars, we can send commands to them, I believe. So it wouldn't be, it's not that far logical
Huh.
leap to go, okay, there's probably people like controlling them, because we can control drones, but you have to think for a drone, you have to be close to them. So maybe this has like a pre-programmed path to it, or they're able to send simple commands to it, and it's able to like change the way it goes, but maybe some sort of propulsion system. So that's why we shot it down over the ocean, give it a better chance to recover all this stuff.
Hmm.
And what I was reading too, like we were able to like jam the signal, and whatever data it was trying to send back, we were able to collect too. It's kind of cool, like what we're able to do, what they're able to do. This stuff's kind of intriguing.
Yeah.
Because we're doing it to other countries, other countries doing it to other countries, other countries doing it to us all the time. So when stuff finally comes to light, so then like you have to start talking about it, and stuff they'll tell the public. You kind of like, oh, so we have more cool stuff than we thought. Yeah, I was intrigued by it.
I just seen a bunch of people talking about this weather balloon. It was Chinese, got blown down. I didn't really put too much thought into it. That's interesting though.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Because I just people are like, oh, they're spying on us. Yeah, everyone spies on everyone, and everyone has satellites. So, as we're using TikTok, which is collecting all of our data.
Yeah,
we're complaining about this weather balloon.
Why don't you go and tell everybody about the website, Mike?
twodumbyinzers.com. It's the number 2 DUMYINZRS.com. Get on over there. We have all this fun stuff on there. We have Spotify, YouTube links, Anchor links, links to Facebook, Twitters, Instagrams, and the merchandise store, all at twodumbyinzers.com.
There you have it, everybody. Go check it out. Go check out www.twodumbyinzers.com. All kind of things going on over there. We are all 5 days a week from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Still live. Check us out. We are on YouTube. Apparently Mike says that people could see what people were writing, and there you have it. So
they can trust me
without making an effort. They
without making an effort.
Okay. I think you're lying to me, but okay.
I could be gaslighting you, but yeah, it is on there because I do watch other people's live streams.
But the show that we do right now will be uploaded this evening at 8:00 over on Spotify. If you just have time to listen to, or on the way to work, at work, whatever, it will be over on podcast form on Spotify at 8:00 this evening. Mike, you want to do a quick Super Bowl trivia before we take off?
Oh, let's do it.
All right, here we go, everybody. P, go ahead and answer as well. Here we go. Who scored the longest touchdown in Super Bowl history? Who scored the longest touchdown in Super Bowl history? It's one person. And go.
Oh, I know this one. This one's easy. That would be me. I scored the longest one.
Give P a second here, see if he wants to answer. While we're on our backup setting, our backup system, I can't provide my music like I'd like to.
All right. Is it time for me to answer?
Here we go. Today's Super Bowl question. We are down to the last 5 days, Mike, of course, leading up to the Super Bowl. So all trivia questions this week will be Super Bowl questions. The question of the day is, who scored the longest touchdown in Super Bowl history? Mike, the answer, of course, is
James Harrison.
James Harrison. I've seen this shot, this highlight 600 times over the weekend, and I'm sure we're going to see it a lot more times.
Yes.
Heading into next weekend. James Harrison, of course, against the Arizona Cardinals. Intercepted Kurt Warner, took it all the way. 99 yards. Got chased down, almost caught by Larry.
Who ran out of bounds. There should have been a flag on that.
Larry Fitzgerald, and James Harrison falls into the end zone. Longest play ever. Longest touchdown ever in Super Bowl history, Mike. So the longest run ever with Willie Parker, and the longest touchdown ever with James Harrison.
Steelers making history, man. We own the Super Bowl.
We own the Super Bowl. If it wasn't for Tom Brady, did you ever think? Here's one for you, though. If you think like with the Mannings we were talking about earlier, if it wasn't for the Mannings, how many Super Bowls would Brady have won? Because the Mannings, the New York Super Bowls that he lost to 2, those are 2 games, and then the couple times that Peyton knocked
Brady
out
Yeah.
on his way to the Super Bowl, which could have totally been Brady Super Bowl wins, because it was almost like these Brady Manning Bowls were more impressive and more exciting than the Super Bowl were those years. So without the Mannings, Brady might have 10. Mike, you might have 10 Super Bowls.
That's insane. That is
insane.
insane. F that guy.
But hey, we do want to thank everybody for checking us out. Please keep continuing to do so. Do you have anything before we take off for today, Mike?
People can see the YouTube comments.
All right, there you go, everybody. YouTube comments are visible. I'm gonna go check this out after the show to see whether my head's gonna blow clean off my shoulders or not. We'll update you tomorrow on how that whole situation goes, I'm sure. But I want to thank everybody for checking us out again. Ryan, Mike, the two dumb Yinzers. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.